Raw review. This is January 1st, 2024, the new year. The first Monday Night Raw in the new year. This is Mr. Blackhammer 2021 doing my Monday Night Raw review. The show just ended. A very good show, very decent. There was some good matches on the show. The main event was great. That was interesting. Rhea Ripley and Ivy Nile had a very good match. The Rock came back. The Roman Reigns that we all been waiting for. Now, the show just ended a few minutes ago. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre had a very good match. I think they went about 20 minutes. That was very interesting. We did get Damian Priest. I was wondering when he was going to show up, but he also teased a cancel in. He did not cancel in, thank God. Drew McIntyre lost. He almost had it. The ending was like, I thought he was going to win it until Rollins got a foot on the rope. And Rollins hit the pedigree. He actually won clean. Fair and square. He beat Drew McIntyre. It was pretty good. Now I'm going to make this like an hour. My video is sponsored by Solid Monster, Sound Off, Fight for Pro Wrestling, JD from New York, Alex, the Post Wrestling, and the rest of the time. Alright, now let me, since the show's over.
We're gonna have fun. With new host.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so, here we go. Gonna go through all the, things here first. There's a lot of news and rumors that I'll be talking about here. But let's talk about Raw first.
Yeah. He can come out there with no plan, crush it. But when he comes out there with a plan, like it is deadly. The blood coming from the mouth, and Nia Jax hit the Annihilator and beat Becky.
Yeah, Nia Jax beat Becky Lynch.
I think that's my feeling on things. So I'm fine. They weren't at this point. It's not that there was even a reaction or no reaction. Everybody was just in disbelief, and Jinder Mahal plays into it.
And Damian Priest is a New Yorker, so that's. Do you see Dominic?
Now, Monday Night Raw, we did get Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch. That opened the show. That was okay. I was like, what the hell? Really? Nia Jax beat Becky Lynch? She made her bleed. I think she punched her in the face. Made her bleed like she did 5 years ago. That's Survivor Series. Nia Jax beat Becky Lynch clean, so I wonder if she'll be next in line for Rhea Ripley after Royal Rumble. We'll have to wait and see. But I didn't like that. I just thought, Nia Jax, we'll get some Nia Jax. We also got Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston defeated Imperium due to a referee stoppage because I think Giovanni Vinci got hurt. He sold an injury with Kofi and Jey won my forfeit. We did get Miz and R-Truth or Austin Truth. They defeated Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. R-Truth is still thinking he's in Judgment Day. Still thinking that he's in Judgment Day. He's still wearing the shirt. R-Truth playing that role just for comedy, just for shits and giggles, just for him to be funny. He's not really in Judgment Day, just for just for entertainment, for comedy. We got Rhea Ripley defending her Women's World Championship against Ivy Nile in a very good match. They went about 15 minutes. This match was very good. I was impressed with Ivy Nile. A very good match. Rhea Ripley did retain. We'll see where she goes into the Royal Rumble. I have a feeling she might face Nia Jax because she needs to defend it at the Royal Rumble, and maybe against Nia Jax. Hopefully not, but I think it will. I'm afraid it will be. We also got Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark defeated Natalia and Tegan Nox. That was just a filler match on one. It went about 3 minutes. It's nothing important. Main event. Bronson Reed was on main event. He beat Akira Tozawa. Also got Gargano defeated Ivar on main event. Probably because they had no plan for them on the show, so they were on main event. And as I said earlier, the main event we had the main event of the show was Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship in a very good match. This match was very, very good. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Oh yeah, like I said, The Rock did show up. The Rock wants Roman Reigns. He wants the head of the table. The Rock teases a match with Roman Reigns. That can be at WrestleMania, or that can be somewhere down the line. The Rock teases a match with Roman. He returned and teases a match with Roman Reigns. We still got the WrestleMania.
You can't ignore those things. So for me, like, I don't know that I agree.
It's Jericho. The WWE trade Drew McIntyre for MJF. You heard it here first.
I mean, I make that deal.
Oh yeah, 100% of the time.
The Rock called out Roman Reigns. Now Triple H, if y'all saw on social media, y'all saw on the others, where Triple H was gonna bring out a new WWE champion. It was The Rock. Now first they brought out Jinder Mahal. They teamed up with Jinder Mahal. Thank God The Rock came out, and he came out. It was just entertainment. He rocked. It was just entertainment. After Jinder Mahal came out, got no reaction, got booed. The Rock came out. He said some good jokes to Jinder Mahal, gave him a rock bottom, people's elbow. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention Elias Bill's new name. Kevin Dunn departed after 30 years plus, after 40 years, in the country for 40 years.
That there was some post here. Of what weight, you can't necessarily determine highly, but regardless, she did. Oh, there was a couple small little elements where you're like, okay, that part doesn't seem like a Triple H thing. So now we know Triple H is in full control. You kind of get this idea of like, okay, well, what type of mess ups? Upper hand leading to a tag team match. And I brought you back here to prove a point. You know all these
Joaquin Wild and Andrade, and they start.
The Good Might Work commentary.
Well as in the weeds today, I thought that Jeremy and Joel did a great job there. Man, let's get into it. Joseph Grace, Happy New Year's SRS. Hats off to the referee protecting Giovanni Vinci. Hopefully this isn't too serious. So we're going to cover this show a little bit out of order. And unfortunately, there was a spot very, very early in Kofi Kingston versus Jey Uso, where Kofi Kingston caught Giovanni Vinci with a drop kick. And what it looked like to me was that Vinci's head bounced off the mat.
shout out to Sean Bennett, the referee, for immediately calling the doctor in, halting everything, and then the doctor said, "Nope, we ain't doing this match anymore." In a tag match, I guess you could have possibly gotten him out of the way and continued with Ludwig Kaiser. But I think all things considered, shit happens. Shout out to that doctor. Shout out to the referee for protecting Vinci. Unfortunately, these things do happen sometimes.
Was anybody out there saying this was the wrong decision?
I saw some people saying they could have continued 2-on-1. Yeah.
Oh, come on now. I feel like
Unfortunately.
here's the thing about that. Let's say they would have somehow ended up continuing this match in terms of like having Giovanni somehow continue in this match. It would have been like awful to see that. I know that somebody did mention, I guess, a 2-on-1 situation, but it's like I don't think that would be the right way to go about it. I personally feel that this did not take away at all from the show. And hey, it's a freaking reminder that things can happen. I know everybody's always coming out here making fun of us for, talking about pro wrestling or being pro wrestling fans because people are like, wrestling is fake and all of this stuff. Well, you know what? Real stuff definitely happens. And this was a scenario like that. And I thought that the referee made a very quick and good instinct call he did his job. He did his job in protecting Giovanni Vinci, and Giovanni put out that tweet saying that he was fine. So it was very cool that we got a nice follow-up very quickly.
So I'm sure they'll run that match back. So this weekend, again, tons of news stories. We will kind of get to the individual news stories as we get super chats and humper chats about them. Well, what does it say that almost nobody is talking about this right now, Denise? PW Insider reported, and Fightful Select was able to follow up with some additional details. Kevin Dunn's gone from WWE, effective immediately. Jonathan Corona says who's going to take over for Kevin Dunn's position for production since he's out. He has been preparing multiple people, actually, that have been training in that spot. I'm told it'll be effectively sort of in the aggregate, where there will be an
Roman Reigns in so many words, mentioning the head of the table. And now we have to assume that WWE is planning on giving us that match after all. And if it's going to happen at WrestleMania or not, or could it possibly happen somewhere else? And what the fate of Roman Reigns and the championship and The Rock and Cody and Punk and Seth and Priest and Drew and Becky and everybody's path to WrestleMania, what that's going to be like. Man, it's I thought tonight's show was a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm still kind of a little bit discombobulated trying to get up here on time for you guys, but we have a lot to get into tonight. I want to thank you for being here. Happy New Year to you, and welcome to 2024. First stream of the new year. We had a great weekend streaming World's End and doing a review there, and we had some episodes last week. We only missed yesterday, but you've gotten me pretty much every day here for the last 4 or 5 days. And now we are back on to WWE chatter, and tonight's Raw I thought was really fun. It was really good. We saw a few subtle changes, and they are starting to set the table for what is going to be our WrestleMania season. But that Rock news really throws kind of a monkey wrench in what the plans could be, and you have to wonder if WWE kind of already knows what they're going to do. Now that Rock has come in and said the things that he said tonight, WWE Raw was right here in San Diego, 20 minutes down the road from me. Unfortunately, I did not go. Holiday, big night at work last night. Me and Elizabeth didn't even know what we were going to be doing today. I was supposed to have a family dinner, but then Elizabeth got sick and all of that. So it just wasn't really in the cards for us to go to the show tonight. But I kind of wish I would have been there because it was a sold out packed house there at Pachanga.
Things. And you also kind of mentioned right now how there might be different people. And I think that part is very interesting because then we could possibly end up every week just seeing something, slightly tweaked. And I think that's going to be kind of crazy. But man, I'm curious.
B, C, or D, 1 through 10. Are you excited now for WrestleMania season with this Rock news coming in? Does this make you excited? Does this make you nervous? Does this make you pessimistic, optimistic? I think WWE is hitting on all cylinders right now. They are white hot. They are crushing it. I don't think they're going to bring The Rock in to fuck up all of their plans. Triple H doesn't like the type of guy to drastically alter his plans the way Vince did. So I think, however, The Rock is going to be worked in to WWE's creative plans with Roman Reigns, I think they're going to do it as best as they can in terms of kind of keeping everybody happy and not deviating too far from their already, working plans for WrestleMania. So the Rock stuff is very, very interesting, and we're going to have a lot to say about that tonight. Let me kind of get my bearings straight here. Let me just cruise to the chat, say hello to everybody who's in here, please.
Wrestler said, in which I asked, why the hell are we wrestling on Monday Night Raw if you don't trust us to make this look?
Welcome to your Raw review. This is the first one, maybe for some of you, so I'm glad everyone is here. We have a lot to talk about, but first, go to the chat and say hello to my friends. Let's try to hit some channel members first, like Zach Palgett, and oh, by the way, Happy New Year to everybody. I know a lot of you are wishing me Happy New Year in the chat. Thank you so much for that. Happy New Year to you as well. It's 2024, and I just cannot believe if you were born in 2003, you can drink. How crazy is that? Years are just going by here. I'm going to blink and I'm going to be 80 years old. But good to see Zach in the house. Also, Divine Riggs, friend. Hey, Greg. So I'm thinking maybe at the Rumble, Roman drops the title to Orton, and then at WrestleMania, it'll be Orton versus Cody for the title and Rock versus Roman. That is not a bad idea. I mean, Cody could technically finish his story against Randy Orton. They do have a lot of history. I still want Roman and Cody, just based on what we saw last year at the end of WrestleMania. I feel like Cody needs to get that monkey off his back, but maybe they can find a way for him to finish his story against another guy that he has a ton of history with, Randy Orton. Orton could beat Roman at the Rumble for the title. Then it's Cody and Roman for the championship at WrestleMania, putting Rock and Roman in a WrestleMania match without a title on the line, because many fans would argue that feud and match doesn't need a title, and I kind of tend to agree. I don't care if it has a title. I don't think the only way to do it is without a title, but it does make sense that it would need a championship. So that could be one way to do it. That would give Roman a victory at WrestleMania and perhaps put Roman and Cody on a collision course for SummerSlam. Only Cody is the champion defending against Roman. That could all work. We're going to discuss all these scenarios here in just a minute, but that's a pretty good idea. Divine, and thank you for the $2. Happy New Year's.
Could say a lot about his production style, but there's a lot of respect to be given and had for that, and obviously WWE felt that. My friend Gorilla Press here says, saw the production in the women's tag team segment cinematic. Let's talk about that briefly. This was something we don't see a lot of, and Denise, I know it wasn't everybody's. I don't know if we could be pissed about it. Rock and Roman literally could be 1 year, another year in the making. It doesn't need the title. It could happen WrestleMania 41.
Yeah. It is funny. It is funny because people are like, "Oh, The Rock's old," and it's like, what, 51? I think is his age. It's like, what's a year? What's a year gonna change though? I get what you're saying, and I know where you're coming from because you're absolutely right. Right? Like, where can it just? We jump to conclusion as fans, and that's something that I can hold myself accountable for.
You just did it, but yeah. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
To me, Rock, brother, who is this no good jabroni son of a bitch bastard? Sound more like Jimmy Snooker than the Iron Chief. Zoometh on these balls. So everybody's going nuts. The Rock is proud to be the people's champion. The Rock is proud to be an American, and he's proud to
Constantly being interviewed backstage. For the people that we don't really know what their personalities are.
Seth versus Cody versus Punk would sure as hell be an interesting triple threat. I ain't gonna lie there. Good to see Jordan Card as well. We've got Shell Shock, Toro Hill, Decimania. We got Patty J in the house. Also, Ruben Anthony, another channel member. Good to see you. We have Joseph Boza. Reese Jones, another channel member. Missed you again. Shell Shock, FLI. We have Sex Machine, Mr. J. We have Big J, Gamer Gooner. The new one, Denny Down Bad. Jacob, the Zombie Fighter. Good to see you. Nick Steele. This FRGN, good to see you as well. Always happy to see you in here. And anybody else chiming in, Brian Rodriguez earlier, Happy New Year, have fun, and always stay safe. Please have a very happy New Year's Eve. Same to you, Brian. Okay, so I just wanted to get some of those hellos out of the way. before we get going here, and let me give this a refresh so I can be all set and set. All right, we are good to go. So we are going to review tonight's Raw. We're going to try to go in order here, but there is going to be a lot to unpack in terms of The Rock, what we saw from The Rock tonight, what he said in his promo, and what that means now for WrestleMania. Because we just saw Rock a few weeks ago, you know, and he came in and he didn't really do a whole lot. Every time he's made appearances in the last few years, it's just to come in and, you know, humiliate a shitty heel and then leave. Tonight, he actually planted seeds for him to do something. And it wasn't like vague-ass seeds like him and Triple H planted a couple of years ago when we thought we might get that match again. This was a direct reference to Roman Reigns himself. And I don't know why they would do that if they weren't going to do the match. We've also heard The Rock comment on this before. He did, you know, he was doing some of those college game days, you know, a few months ago or a couple months ago, whatever that was, where he did talk about a working plan was in place to do Rock and Roman in LA last year, but things fell apart and, you know, he's still holding out hope that they could do that. With Vince gone and Triple H back in, Triple H now in charge of creative, I wasn't sure how high on Triple H's priority list.
With WWE, won an award first year in there as well. Pretty cool to see. It's very interesting to see how, I mean, they're
Pat now and what we have to think about.
stay ready for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Wait, what?
Here in 2 minutes. They just keep you on the go. They also have these great lunch.
Here in San Diego, and he was photographed earlier on in the day talking to like Lee Corso or something. In the background, you could see Nick Khan. So that was kind of a red flag right there. Nick flew up there to go pick his ass up and get him down here to the whale's vagina as quickly as possible.
35.
To appear. And basically, they were sending it. Government of Perth, who is hosting Elimination Chamber, wanted The Rock to appear. And basically, they were sending inquiries saying, you know, what do we have to get The Rock in Perth for the WWE Elimination Chamber? The match, you get that out the door. Perth.
We're at a very healthy stand. The format is very obvious. It's like, to get one team ready, they beat the last team that lost the tag title match. And it just seems to be repeating and repeating and repeating. What do you think of this?
I'm really sorry, man. But after this, I was just on Twitter reading everything going on about The Rock. I was paying attention to that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to pay attention to the match. And then the match ended. I'm really sorry, but they were put in a spot where, like, you can't, like, based on what happened once we get to The Rock stuff, after that, I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I need a second to, like, really get my brain back together and really think about what just happened. Sorry for the tag team match.
What do we think are the non-Rumble matches at Royal Rumble? I could see Drew McIntyre and Seth running it back again.
Randy Roman.
I mean, I think there will be.
AJ.
What is it?
I'm thinking they're going to do LA Knight AJ Styles.
LA Knight and AJ, and then I think they'll probably just do those. I think there will be 4 or 5 matches on that show. And that's it. There are 4 or 5 matches, or there's 5 or 6 matches when there aren't Royal Rumbles. So
yeah, you're
I
right.
think that's about it. Any guesses on free agents in either Rumble?
You think we could see Matt Cardona come out and do something?
I would love that. I mean, like, they can't pay him what he's getting paid by GCW for one night, but I think he was booked for the Jericho Cruise. I don't know if the Jericho Cruise.
It's around it's the same time as the Royal Rumble, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that little weekend, yeah. So probably not then.
I would. I mean, listen, I know you're with me on this. I would love to see Sean Waltman get a Rumble.
Oh my gosh, yes. Are you
So
kidding
badly.
me? I would like be so happy if I saw that.
AJ Lee is one that I want to see. That's really badly what I want to see.
That
As
would
far
be
as-
very nice. Yes.
As far as free agents,
But he's saying, oh my God, Greg, that's fucking ridiculous. Rock and Roman is a WrestleMania match. I agree, normally. But this year you already have a beautiful story just waiting for you at WrestleMania. Why fuck that up? Why fuck that up when you can not only have one successful show, but two? Perth is a stadium show.
and that Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I remember when when NXT did a show, several years ago at the Hollywood Palladium. That was phenomenal, and that was the one time I got to see him there on NXT.
Roman versus Rock night 2. Well, where the fuck is Cody? Would it be a triple threat or something? Who knows?
Ain't gonna be no
So
triple
I
threat.
feel like
That would ruin the match.
The Rock's return is a huge way to sell out that Perth show. It's a stadium show. It would feel like a big main event. You couple that with perhaps Cody Rhodes entering the Elimination Chamber match itself and winning it, giving him the title shot at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. I would use Rock.
And it does make sense because who is he gonna face at the chamber?
Big international stadium show. The Rock's going to be in the main event because that will be the main event. Rock versus Roman Reigns, and the title can be on the line. Who fucking cares? I know it's very cool and in to say, "Oh, that championship doesn't mean that doesn't mean the championship." No, it doesn't. But the championship's there. It doesn't mean it's wrong. So the feud, yes, doesn't need the title, but I don't think the title is the only way to do it. You can totally have a title match. No big deal. Roman can challenge, or Rock can challenge Roman for the title at Elimination Chamber to be the true head of the table. Roman then beats The Rock in the main event, retaining his title. And really, what that will do for Rock, or I'm sorry, for Roman, is give him that just undeniable confidence to where now if he already doesn't feel untouchable, bulletproof, unbeatable as it is, based on everybody's beat so far, he now beats The Rock. He is the true head of the table of the family. He is going to be beaming with undeniable confidence, which could be a perfect way for Cody to come in and finish his story. When I keep saying Rock, when Roman is going to have this attitude of, I'm going to be champion forever. None of you fuckers can beat me. I am the goddamn greatest thing that this business has ever seen. And he's going to go into WrestleMania, maybe even taking Cody a little bit too lightly, and he's finally going to get caught. Pride goeth before a fall. Proverbs, right? So, Roman with the ultimate confidence, he's so overconfident because after that big win against The Rock, nobody can stop him, right? And then Cody, that same night, wins the Elimination Chamber. He now gets the match versus Roman, and Cody can still finish the story. The only problem with that is it gives Rock a match at Elimination Chamber, but not WrestleMania. How is The Rock going to come in for WrestleMania season and not be at WrestleMania? So my Elimination Chamber idea, as much as I would prefer it.
One premium seat is all they had left, and it got sold. So they were a legitimate sellout tonight in San Diego. Thanks. They have been teasing that a former WWE champion will be making an appearance on tonight's episode of the show. Michael first reported several days ago. Triple H then acknowledged the report, which is something he never does, and said, well, they verified that we should tune into Raw on Monday night
To see Adam and his message. But thank you, gentlemen, very much. If you guys want to get your super chats in, So the effects of being out all night. Follow me on Instagram. I've been posting my times out, man. Hanging around people that party all night. Yeah,
I was told they weren't tonight. person is very honest with me. They were honest with me last time when I got yelled at. I like this. This
You
is
got yelled
harmless
at?
fun. You don't remember when I got yelled at for saying they piped in booze for Dominic? 'Cause
No,
they
I
did?
don't remember you getting
Oh,
yelled at.
God, that
From
one
who?
night.
From people on Twitter or from WWE?
Dozens of people.
Okay, oh, but you meant
Hundreds.
Twitter.
It's probably Kobe. And if you guessed that it was going to be Jinder Mahal,
Up in San Diego. Returning to WWE, and we threw out a list of names about who it could be. One Hall of Famer in particular I mentioned was Stone Cold Steve Austin, amongst a list of names. The list of names included Big E, Stone Cold, Dave Bautista, but at the end, we got Dwayne Johnson on Monday Night Raw, and he's in the ring, and it took us a little bit to get there because he was dilly-dallying with Jinder Mahal. Because Triple H really wanted to troll us tonight, or really make us angry first and then make us happy. I don't know why he wanted to do that, but regardless of how it happened, we got The Rock basically calling out Roman Reigns, insinuating that he's going to eat at the head of the table, no matter who is sitting there. This has sparked major controversy and discussion on social media and in the wrestling world. What is going to happen to Cody Rhodes and his story going into WrestleMania? Let's map this out. For everybody in the chat and everybody on social media who came to me today when I tweeted out earlier this afternoon, let's not stray away from the original.
your gut gets bigger. With The Rock, it's like the other parts of his body, the arm.
You mean like people on?
It's just a lot to kind of speculate on, and a lot of different paths they could take. But
At WrestleMania, let's start at the Royal Rumble. Roman's going to be defending his championship against one of three men. And we'll find out on Friday. Randy Orton, LA Knight, or AJ Styles. None of those men right now will be winning the World Championship. You can put that shit to bed. Randy Orton's not winning the world title. LA Knight is not winning the world title. Yeah. No. And AJ Styles is not winning the world championship. So you guys, whoever is saying, oh, well, Randy Orton should win the title. Now, Randy Orton is not winning the fucking championship, okay? That's not where his story lies going into WrestleMania. So Roman, no matter who he wrestles, is not losing the championship at the Royal Rumble, which then takes us into Cody's story. Will he win the Royal Rumble, or will he win the Elimination Chamber? Who wins the Royal Rumble? Is it Gunther? Is it Cody? Is it CM Punk? Who is it? Take a pick. It could be anybody. The great thing about this year's Royal Rumble is that WWE has a lot of top guys that they could plug in there, and you could say, that guy should win the Royal Rumble. That guy should win the Royal Rumble. So many years have gone by where the Royal Rumble has basically little to zero World Championship caliber athletes. And now this year, pick your poison, basically.
On social media, do you think Andrade will be on NXT?
So I thought the promo itself was pretty fucking lame. And I'm saying, get to the punchline already. This is just a retread of what we've already seen him do in the past. Well, what is this? Get to the point. Well, it came at the end. Of course, Jinder got laid out. No rock bottom. He got spine buster. He got ate a people's elbow. And then The Rock picked the microphone back up. Where this is the whole point of the promo here was what came at the very end. The Rock is telling these people who said,
Hey, how's it going, Baxter? Thank you
Rock,
for watching my video.
he's hungry. Should he go sit in a booth? Should he go to the bar?
Alright.
I'm thinking, all right, maybe he should go get some
Hopefully y'all enjoy my video.
In-N-Out burger. Should I sit in a booth? Should I go to the bar? Or maybe sit at the head of the table. That, of course, got a huge reaction from the people in San Diego. They went nuts for that line. That was the money line of the promo. That's the line that's going to have people talking now coming out of this show. And then he closed out the promo, and that was the end. We have heard a lot over the past few years about the possibility of their Casper battle of the bloodline, right? Who is the real head of the table? Who is the real tribal chief? And Rock a few months ago said, well, it was this close to happening at WrestleMania last year, but didn't really say why it didn't happen. All right. Oh, we came close, but we couldn't seal the deal. We couldn't close the deal, and so the match didn't. And The Rock off and on has been teasing coming back and doing something, or people have been talking about the possibility of Rock coming back and wrestling a match now for years. We have not seen The Rock in a proper match since he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 20. Okay? Take the 6-second match with Eric Rowan and throw it in the garbage, okay? Because that doesn't count. 2013 is the last time we saw The Rock in a singles match or any real match on television, on pay-per-view, or anywhere else. Now he's 11 years old. And this is as close as we have ever come to the possibility that we might actually get The Rock and Roman Reigns in an actual match. Because this is the first time it's been acknowledged on television. Now, it's one thing for people online to talk about it and speculate about it, but it's another thing entirely to tease people about it on television and then not deliver. But I'm also old enough to remember when Hulk Hogan came out on this very television show, on the Raw Homecoming show, and teased a match against Stone Cold Steve Austin, which we never got. So, just because it happened on television,
He is the smartest person about this because he ain't telling his friends. I don't even know if his dad knows. His dad probably knows. His dad runs a lot of his business for him, books his flights for him too. I probably think that Tony, Mega.
That's the fucking opinion that I have. We don't need the match. I don't give a shit. We don't. WWE is hot enough right now where you can have Cody and Roman and Punk and Rollins headline both nights of WrestleMania. Why the fuck do you need Dwayne in the main event of WrestleMania? Why? Just throw it out there. You want my fucking opinion? That's my opinion. You don't need The Rock at WrestleMania. You don't. It's a waste of time. Why are you going to fuck up plans already that are perfect? Because you got to get The Rock at WrestleMania. I can't stand that narrative, man. I can't. So yeah, let's take Cody's main event spot away from him because The Rock wants Roman. Let's take Punk and Rollins' main event spot away because we got to do Rock and Roman.
What?
We don't need it. We never need it.
Now for the title.
It was a pipe dream that now all of a sudden WWE is going to will into existence. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a WrestleMania match. It's a WrestleMania match. You can't do it anywhere but WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Fucking bullshit. Stop.
for the match to happen and be for the championship, because that would be a terrible fucking idea. Who in their right mind would honestly believe that if Rock and Roman stepped in the ring together, that The Rock is going to win the WWE Championship? Who in their right mind thinks it's a good idea, after 3+ years, if it came down to Rock and Roman, to have Rock be the one to walk on in and beat Roman Reigns to win the championship, right? That's not going to happen. That would be a terrible fucking idea. That is not going to happen. My first thought when this was over, honestly, boy, this kind of renders the title match at the Royal Rumble kind of meaningless, doesn't it? I don't know how many people honestly believe Roman was going to lose the belt anyway at the Rumble, but they're setting up a title match for the Royal Rumble. We have a match on SmackDown this week, a triple threat match to crown a #1 contender. All anybody's going to be talking about now is the possibility of Rock and Roman.
Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. If Roman beats The Rock at the Elimination Chamber, he will be godly. Because he beat the one guy in his family that overshadowed him his entire fucking life. His entire career. What the fuck do you think that is going to do for Cody Rhodes if he goes into WrestleMania and beats Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship? Cody will then win the chamber, and he will beat the guy that beat The Rock for the World Heavyweight Championship and finish his story. I'm sorry. I mean, do you have
Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, fine.
old school mind, old school mentality? How do we make Cody look the best ever at WrestleMania? There you go. I didn't hesitate. It's simple as fucking pie.
Exactly.
To the Elimination Chamber. But what if it's more than just an appearance? What if he's teasing a Rock Roman Reigns match, and instead of WrestleMania, the match happens at Elimination Chamber?
Exactly.
For the championship. They want it to be for the championship. And they do the match in Australia. Because they already have 45,000 plus tickets sold for this big stadium show in Perth. This is going to be the biggest Elimination Chamber show they have ever done. It's going to be a big stadium show.
And boom, she got hurt. And then she kind of disappeared again.
Say, we'll do you one even better. We'll give you The Rock in the ring. And we'll build the Elimination Chamber around The Rock against Roman Reigns. You have that match. You have an actual Elimination Chamber match.
He doesn't have a WrestleMania opponent. Before he did in Roman, now he doesn't because we got to get The Rock his WrestleMania flowers. You don't know the damage you do if Roman and Rock main events WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck about Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is sold out. Off of nothing. The WWE is so hot right now that you have the fucking liberty of putting this match on the chamber and not having to blink a fucking eye.
Exactly.
Imagine that. It's unbelievable how people don't think.
WWE has it fine. I see no issue with it. That's where the match should happen if it's going to happen. I think that would be a fine place for the match to happen.
Exactly.
So that's one option.
Exactly. It makes sense.
What the opportunity to do the last time he was here? Why would you want to do that and shit all over that narrative? Additionally, don't you think that Seth Rollins and the work that he's done, it doesn't deserve a main event on night one?
Exactly.
So yeah, let's put Roman and Rock on WrestleMania and then fuck all these other guys in the process.
How much of a fuck you would that be to Cody Rhodes? That'd be awful.
38. It took 19 years, but we got Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the ring in the main event against Kevin Owens. Sometimes things just don't make any sense. Elimination Chamber is one option.
Yeah.
Then there's the obvious option, which is WrestleMania 4. The biggest possible marquee match that WWE can do, I admit, is Roman Reigns against The Rock. Right now, at this moment, there is no bigger marquee match than they can do. Typically, WWE would save their big marquee matches for WrestleMania, like they did with Rock and Cena back in 2012 and 2013. Stone Cold came back, it was at WrestleMania, although that may have had more to do with it being in Dallas than anything else.
Oh, I do not put it past WWE. This is a different administration. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they think this far ahead. I don't know if they have this same mentality. But if this was Vince McMahon, Roman Roman Reigns would go into WrestleMania and leave WrestleMania 40 still as the Universal Heavyweight Champion. People got it in their head.
But you had your shot. You had your shot at the main event last year. This year, if we are doing The Rock versus Roman Reigns, that is your main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. Chamber. You know,
It's Hulk Hogan's record. He would have to beat Cody Rhodes or whoever he wrestles at WrestleMania and hold the title hostage till SummerSlam. Do you want another year and a half of Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion because you want him to break the record of Hulk Hogan, who you deem a racist? So that's why we're skewing and fucking up creative plans, because you want the record of a racist to be broken. Interesting. That's not how I would book my WWE creative.
Especially when he's not on TV every week.
I don't give a fuck what you think of Hulk Hogan. The reason why you're fucking here is because of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna happen at SummerSlam. Maybe this was the first tease, and they're gonna let it simmer for a while. Roman is gonna go to WrestleMania, lose the championship, and then they could do Rock and Roman in a battle for who the real head of the table is.
The news production style and stuff. But
See what's up?
What are your Royal Rumble predictions 4 weeks out? I was leaning Becky and Punk before tonight. Now I'm leaning Bailey and still sticking with Punk.
I'm still with Becky. I'm still sticking with Becky. And for the men's rumble, that's the one that if I had to pick right now, it'd be CM Punk too. Yeah.
I don't think it should be Punk or The Rock. I think it should send a message that full-time people who have been around are the ones that will get that reward. And I'll talk a lot more about that later. I'm gonna be back. Ted says, just a shout out to my new.
That's too soon. What do you do with Seth Rollins and CM Punk? What do
Exactly.
you do?
CM Punk ain't winning no chamber.
No, man,
I don't think Cody Rhodes will win the Rumble. Now what do you do? Now what do you do at the chamber then?
At WrestleMania. Just do it at the chamber.
No one to see a winner. No one to see Cody Rhodes win it because it'll be too predictable. No one to see a repeat winner and it'll be forced.
Itself, man. That's what I would do.
So no, Cody Rhodes ain't win the
How
Rumble.
long are you gonna have Cody wait? He put out the documentary. He tells his story. I gotta finish the story. Blah blah blah. All this. I can't deal with this fucking shit for another 6 months. I can't do it. I can't do it. He's fucking wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura because Nakamura wants to end the American Nightmare. I don't give a shit. I don't.
WrestleMania right now, I mean, this show is going to do monster business with or without The Rock.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a gigantic show.
Exactly.
All the stories that you're just holding back on because you weren't Roman to break 1,400 days as champion. We gotta do better than that, man. We got to. He can't wait till SummerSlam. He cannot. He cannot. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The feud between Cody and Roman needs to end at WrestleMania. Rock needs to drop a loss to Roman, and Roman needs to go into Mania as the ultimate king of everything. And then Cody takes everything away from Roman. That's the story. The Rock has not had a major match in how many years? And you want to put him in the middle of a fucking storyline that has been telling itself since the end of last year's WrestleMania. We're going to wait and do a rematch that we should have gotten last year already, which we all figured they were going to do 2 years in a row. You want to wait to do it at SummerSlam? Come on, man. No. No.
Beat for that show. It's okay to to do a match with The Rock at Elimination Chamber. The world will not end.
Me, and they're like, yep. And then I thought about it, and I thought, why would they tell me that? Why would they admit to that? I know a lot of people are like, you just run with anything. Haven't you considered? They might be telling you because no shit, Sherlock. I'm always thinking about why people tell me. That's part of it. You gotta wonder about people's agendas. You gotta wonder about why.
You might well do it at the chamber.
WrestleMania. Especially now with the business they're doing.
Because we can't wait 6 more months for Cody Rhodes saying, "Oh, I got to finish my story." I'm at the getting sick and tired of it. It comes feel forced, and by the time you win it, they don't gonna care. So you might well get it done over with.
But we're not gonna back up our promise. We're not going to live up to our end of the bargain.
Exactly.
Because now we got you. Now you're making a whole shit ton of money, man. You're making the most money you made in your entire career.
Yes,
Fine,
exactly.
Man. We're gonna give this one to Dwayne.
Yeah.
Can WWE pull the Bryan Daniel Bryan saga at WrestleMania? Sure.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah, they could do
you're
that.
going to fuck up the other stories that you're trying to tell going into WrestleMania. If you do Cody and I don't know, maybe we do Roman and Rock at WrestleMania night 1. And Roman beats Rock night 1 to go into night 2 and wrestle Cody. So you're putting Roman in 2 main events, which is actively going to hurt Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Where do they fit on that? They'll be playing second fiddle to Roman and Rock and then Roman and Cody. Meanwhile, they should have a night all to themselves in the main event because it's that big of a deal and the story will back it up as
Exactly.
action speaks. This bad back that will never heal.
Oh wait.
I mean, he just go and cash in right then and there. It just made him look so stupid. Is there a force field blocking him from getting back into the ring? That was fucking dumb. The ending of this show was incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
The main event was very good.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do they run it back again? I think they do. If we get one more match with him and Drew at the Royal Rumble, for one very particular reason, it was more a case of Drew beating himself than Seth beating Drew. I'll explain why when we get to the main event. And there was no CM Punk on the show.
Welcome. Hikaru Shida is phenomenal, and I do
They
think
just got
though,
back Serena and Thunder Rosa.
right, but I do think that they needed somebody that has the star power that Mercedes has to.
the match, get it over with. Cody beats Roman, goodbye.
Exactly.
Cody shows up on the Monday night after WrestleMania, and he presents the WWE Universe with a new Winged Eagle Championship belt. Goodbye. And then at SummerSlam, we get Cody and Randy, story built, give it some months of story, and then boom, we got Cody's first major fucking feud as world champion. Why would you ever stray away from something so fucking perfectly built? Because Roman and Rock needs to happen at WrestleMania. Roman, Rock, Chamber. Cody wins the Chamber. Simple. That's another thing. How the fuck is Cody going to be in the Chamber if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble? How is Cody going to be in the Chamber if Gunther wins the Royal Rumble? He's a Monday Night Raw guy who's going to be in the Chamber to wrestle somebody who's on SmackDown. How is he going to get in there? That's a whole nother can of worms that WWE's got to figure out. Because right now, there's not one single guy on SmackDown that should be winning the Royal Rumble. It's going to come from Monday Night Raw. WWE's got more than enough problems going into WrestleMania. There's no need to add another headache on top of what you already have going on. CM Punk wins the Rumble. Cody wins the Chamber. Rock and Roman at Elimination Chamber. Cody gets Roman. Punk gets Rollins. Done. Done.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I want to say Triple H has a plan. This isn't Vince. This isn't Bruce meddling in the fuck.
Standing in the middle of the ring, and they had their audio piped in over the PA system. So it's not just a matter that we could hear them, but the entire building could hear them.
Again. Plus, Bailey also deserves her big WrestleMania moment for sure. So I would not hate that if they went that direction. I don't know. Is there anybody that I'm thinking about right now?
Not off the top of my head, but there might be some people that emerge. Gabriel says, not surprised AEW.
Right turn or fucking switching lanes without the blink right. You don't need to be chaotic. You don't need to do it. There's no need.
The Royal Rumble. And then she appeared in the Rumble later to win. So, maybe this is the same type of thing happening here. If Becky Lynch is in fact planned to go into WrestleMania,
Oh, Battle Women's show.
The title. She's going to be getting a title match, and she might even win the championship. Then, what's the harm in using Becky's name to put over a few women in the process? And Nia Jax could use a victory like this too.
The L surgery, she was gone for a year. Becky got pregnant. She disappeared, but Nia came back.
50,000 tickets. That's a WrestleMania crowd away from a WrestleMania. How is that a bad thing?
Market is open, or right after the stock market closes if they don't think it would react favorably.
Special event? Another special event? A new special event that hasn't been done before?
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, I think announcing like a SummerSlam location or something like that could be big. And listen, if they got CM Punk, you could announce like a big Chicago location. All of a sudden, you're not doing Cleveland anymore. If CM Punk is there for SummerSlam and you want to announce like a big Chicago location or something, I think it could be a major pay-per-view date or something like that. Sean says, when does Jade show up? I'm hoping the Rumble. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Let me check our super chats and humper chats. Dan says, if you do a hard G for GIF because of graphic, how would you say JPEG knowing the P stands for photographic? Team GIF forever. That's a
Are
good
you guys
point.
trying to confuse me?
That's
Wait, so what should we be saying for JPEG instead?
I don't want to say it because people will be able to clip it and it will sound like a slur. So I'm not going to do that. There we go. Anyway.
Sorry, there's question
Anywho.
marks in my head right now. Just bumped like a little bunch of question marks.
Rahab says,
Review. And they did some things that I took notice of. And I very much liked some of the things that they did tonight on the production end of WWE. We'll get into all that stuff right here on the show. I appreciate you guys being with me here in the live stream chat.
So she probably bit down on a blood fat because there was a lot of
number one top.
Their prize. Like,
that's why I don't want to. That's why I'm like, you know what? We are so goddamn inexpensive that almost everybody can get in the door. I'll never fault people for not subscribing and stuff because I've been there. Like, sometimes you got other shit to pay for. But if you're not a jerk about it,
I don't even know what I'm paying for Netflix right now. Did it go up to $20?
Some history there. Holy shit. So that's an interesting team. They were teaming up to take on Imperium, Ludwig, and Da Vinci. But this match was stopped after a bad landing. Vinci, I think, was coming off the middle rope.
they could run it back at the Royal Rumble. The other option is they could do it in the Rumble, where it comes down to Becky Lynch are the only two, in my opinion, likely winners of the Women's Royal Rumble. I tend to think that Bayley is going to win, but it's either Bayley or Becky as things stand right now. So I'm expecting Becky to be in the Women's Rumble and to be in there at the end. If she's going to win it, you could have it come down to.
We're going to go over 16
Alright.
different categories.
We could be like, wow, AEW's women's division is phenomenal. And then be like, oh, when did this happen? Oh, when
Alright,
was
come on.
went to AEW? You know? I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, they've already picked it up. I mean, Tony even talked about it on the media call, how everybody stepped up. Broadway Joe says it's not just about booking her. Dynamite is about 15 minutes for women every week. If Mercedes dominates that time, it's a failure. Build on it.
Do you leave her off the show completely, or do you have her in there defending her title against someone? Could be Nia Jax. Maybe that's why she won here. Cody Rhodes was out to the ring after no doubt shaking The Rock's hand at the back and then going to the bathroom to dry his eyes. Where he was crying at the back. He came out to address the audience. He said he was feeling stuck. Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet Cody Rhodes is feeling pretty fucking stuck right now. He said he's stuck on Shinsuke Nakamura. That he's not stuck on him because of the things he said about his family. And he's not stuck on him because he tried to blind him with the poison mist. He's stuck on him because, quite simply, this should be over. I felt like this was like Cody's shooting, but in a worked sense. Like, this is what they wanted him to say, but there was a lot of truth in the words that were coming out of this man's mouth. He does feel stuck. And this should be over. He's not wrong about anything he said. He said he's going to give Shinsuke Nakamura the opportunity to end it tonight. He says, this ends right now.
Exclusive to Monday Night Raw only. He will no longer be on Friday Night SmackDown. Kevin Patrick right now and Corey Graves are leading SmackDown, and that is a bad move. That is a terrible move. Kevin Patrick is fucking terrible. I cannot listen to that man do play-by-play. He is god-awful. So Michael Cole right now is
with Rhea Ripley. Dream Ninja says it was fun. The finish was amazing. Love Triple H trolling the gender situation. But Ivy delivered, Denise.
Red mist at the camera, or I guess in the direction of the camera. It kind of looked like there was a plexiglass divider between the camera lens but he spit red mist into the camera.
Yeah.
You knew they weren't going to get the
Yeah.
right? They're not going to do Cody and Nakamura with no advance notice. They're not just going to add it to the show without promoting it in advance. So the match is happening on television next week. That's going to be match number. I'm surprised they didn't announce a stipulation. And that feeds into what I think is probably going to end up happening. I think that we may well get a third match between Cody and Nakamura at the Royal Rumble, even though Cody is already declared for the Rumble match. We get some kind of a BS decision next week, or we don't clear cut winner in the match next week. It could be that they run it back one more time, and then they add a stipulation. When they worked Madison Square Garden last week, they worked the bull rope match. So it could very well be we get a bull rope match to decide the entire thing at the Royal Rumble. If Cody is not going to win the Rumble match, I tend to think Punk is probably going to win. If Cody's not winning the Rumble, it actually works out really well, because if he wrestles earlier in the show and wins, but he wrestles, let's say, a bull rope match.
big time into it here in San Diego. So we went to commercial break after 3 or 4 minutes. We got a 2 count off of a missile drop kick. Lynch hit a sunset flip power bomb, and then she goes for a tilt-a-whirl.
Partners. I mean, we might reach a limit of how dumb Archer can be, because he's hilarious when he gets confused and he does crazy things. But
We want this out of Rhea Ripley. I can tell you that personally, I looked at Ivy Nile like
people with accents. Him and Vince McMahon were micromanaging everything. But Jax rolled into a cover with all of her weight on top of Becky Lynch.
Yeah, we have the New Day and the Usos together as a team to take on Imperium. No Gunther on the show tonight. A couple weeks ago, he said he was going to take a break. Turns out he took a break because he and Ginny of NXT UK fame, they had a child. Their very first, I think, a baby boy, I believe, the other day. Kofi was out there working in a pair of gym shorts. I can only guess that maybe they lost his luggage.
dude, there's three people I think that are ahead of you by a mile right now to go on to the big main event. It's crazy.
well, and what's great is once it's a dive to the floor, hits a frog splash, and then goes for a cabrata, landing on its feet, selling the back.
I guess I didn't watch SmackDown tonight, so The Rock is on SmackDown.
I don't know if you just caught that, but Dork Knight, but the exchange between Joe and Rosafa right there was something else. Meetings. We always talked about the Street Profits having, hundreds of.
A disaster? Maybe not a disaster in the company, but a disaster on the internet. That's how you cause one. People would not know what to do. People would.
I guess we could do that. I could do that. Go out to the club with my championship belt.
One more to go. The last one is there's one of two things that is going to happen. Number one, with Becky Lynch losing tonight, I feel like WWE could potentially set up a final two situation with Nia Jax and Becky Lynch in the Royal Rumble. Nia goes on a warpath, double-digit eliminations, and Becky Lynch is the final woman at the end of that Royal Rumble, where Becky Lynch eliminates the immovable object in Nia Jax and throws out Nia Jax to win the Royal Rumble and gets her revenge for this loss inside the 30-woman Royal Rumble. That's a possibility. That's a good story. I know there are people.
And let Kaiser finish the match.
This show, and of course Seth Rollins then afterwards getting him with the pedigree onto the commentary table, the stomp afterwards. I mean, it was a great way to be like, nah, I'm Seth Rollins, Yach, and I'm winning this. I'm retaining my championship because I'm going on to bigger and bigger things. But Drew McIntyre is doing the work of his lifetime. We say that every week, but he truly is.
Do you think Priest will succeed with his cash in? I don't know if Priest will even get his cash in. Like, it might be Cody winning from him and then cash in.
I have no idea what's going on with that. I feel bad because I feel like when we're talking about WrestleMania, when we're talking about the Royal Rumble, when we're talking about all of these big things, I feel bad that we're not really mentioning Damian Priest in this conversation when he has a real big piece of the puzzle, which is the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I feel bad. It's just one of the situations where you have people coming in that all of a sudden you're just a little bit more intrigued in.
Guys, if you want a little more intrigue in this weekend's games or any wrestling shows, check out Bet Online. Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about BetOnline.ag, the official betting partner of Fightful. It's not just an online platform. They've been trusted for over 25 years. They boast a focused focus on the player approach and have built their reputation off.
Written in on. Trish said that he's been waiting.
She injured Liv Morgan, and she's been out since. So WWE got a couple of different directions to go for WrestleMania. Which road are they going to take? I feel like it'll be that. That's just me. Or the wild card. I can see Bianca win the Royal Rumble, and we get Bianca versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, which I feel like we should have got last year. That's also a dark horse wild card pick right there. Bianca win the Royal Rumble, and then we get Bianca and Rhea Ripley. SmackDown right now is loaded and stocked. But with Charlotte being injured, I don't see them moving Bianca Belair off of SmackDown. That's going to be a big name to replace two big names if you move Bianca over to Raw. Couple of different options here. So we will see what happens. But great match between Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. They should both be proud of themselves. And I know I give Nia a hard time, and I know we make fun of Nia, but I'm not the type of guy that's going to hate for the sake of hating. If it's a great match, I'll let you know. If they had a great performance, I'll let you know. If it's not good, I'll let you know.
You see choosing WWE in the next few months. Seems most to be choosing AEW. Yeah, there are. That's all I can say right now. I'm going to nail down a confirmation enough to report probably for tomorrow on FightfulSelect.com. Joel, I know you subscribe. Will Chisholm says, as a person who lived through NXT 2.0, I'm so proud of Ivy. She was great. Yeah, she really was. Dan V says Drew looked stupid, essentially causing his own rope break. There's 12 title losses in a row with U.S. title, tag title, and IC title matches. Damn.
12?
12.
No way.
Cassidy one time was on like 9 or 10. Like it was a lot. It was a whole lot. But I think that's going to play into it, the fact that Drew cost himself the title. Jay Miller says good singles debut for Ivy. Gave the match time too. Could have used the Creed's music for Ivy instead of the generic garbage music. I hope that's a thing that they change soon, because this music is ass. It's always ass. It sucks.
I don't even remember the song, which tells you everything. If you don't remember it, it was not good then. You're going to remember something that's good.
Rockhard Joel Wood says, actually, here's one. Julia, I think, could be head to WWE. It says, with them probably losing out on Mercedes, Deanna, Julia, and The Rock taking Cody's Mania spot, a lot of my positivity has dwindled. It hasn't yet. I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic, because I think that this regime is a little bit smarter. I think they're a little bit smarter. K775 says, how do you feel about Nia beating Becky? Do they do a rematch at the Rumble or down the road? I think down the road, because I think Nia against Rhea at the Rumble is actually the right match now.
Right, even though Nia said that she was entering the Rumble, but obviously if you could skip past having to go through, 29 other women and just go straight to the title, then yeah, of course. So then I'm wondering, like, why would they have her go out and say that she's entering the Rumble, and then all of a sudden she's wrestling Rhea at the Rumble?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they just forgot, who knows?
So Denise, you know how earlier I mentioned that finding out about the WWE champion thing led to me finding out about the Mercedes talks. It led to someone in AEW thinking that Andrade would be maybe be the day one surprise. But I actually found out that Andrade was finishing up the company because of a report I had about Cody recently. I reported that WWE is looking to nail him down long term. Now, I know there are other outlets that have claimed that he signed a deal in October. That isn't true, and that came straight from the source. It was offered in October, and the deal is going to be signed imminently. But Jonathan asked, did he sign? He hasn't. We've got Ryan saying you're still reporting that Cody hasn't re-signed yet. As of last week, he hadn't re-signed. He says, should I pack my I Like Cody sign for Wembley Stadium? Nope. Says, joking aside, I'm worried WWE might not be trusting and pushing their younger and women talent at the top of the card. We are certainly getting there. Matt Logan says, Julia said this past weekend she's not in any rush to leave Japan. That's fine. Mariah May told Stardom she wasn't going anywhere. Jade Cargill said that she was happy in AEW. They're workers. So, anyway, back to Cody. A lot of people in WWE thought that Cody had already signed a deal because he got a new bus. But you got to start that process.
Authors there, so I don't think Nakamura is going to be joining Karrion Kross in this new stable that he's forming with the Authors of Pain over on SmackDown. Kofi Kingston.
And that is what is most impressive about her when she's out there with somebody bigger than her, as Rhea Ripley is. And she can pick them up and she can just kind of throw them around.
And it depends on, like, when's the lease up? You know what I mean? But that's how I found out about the Andrade stuff. And then, you keep going down the rabbit hole and you find out Nick Khan's sitting there with The Rock. And then finally somebody from WWE is like, okay, it's The Rock. It's watching all this stuff unfold. And we are going to have a lot more on the Andrade stuff on FightfulSelect.com. But as FightfulSelect.com reported, WWE wants to nail Cody down long term. It's going to happen. He's not going to AEW unless something catastrophic happens. And who knows, Denise? Maybe that catastrophic thing walked through the door today. So Cody had his segment with Shinsuke Nakamura. Nobody wants to talk about that. Sorry, it was fine. Jinder Mahal walks out, and it's a great rib. TBH, Jinder Mahal was cooking. He wasn't lying. JM says Jinder should have been in the thumbnail for the laughs. And Hovery Duncan says, when Jinder came out, I spit my drink laughing so hard. All-time great troll. Most situations like this, Denise, I feel this, like, in my stomach where I'm like, did my scoop let somebody down? I didn't feel that for a second. There was no chance that Triple H is going to acknowledge some bullshit that this guy put on Fightful Select for Jinder Mahal. It ain't going to happen. All due respect to Jinder. All due respect to Jinder. Tim says, I was completely upset when Jinder came out. Then The Rock comes out and cuts a great promo. Wasn't sure if he had it in him anymore. Let's talk about it. Jinder cuts a promo. Says the Iron Sheik was right, and people here just don't like him because of what he looks like, where he's from, how he talks, etc. It was a very tame Muhammad Hassan promo, is what it was. It was very similar to that, and it was, I look different than you, so you don't like me. And it brought out The Rock. Huge pop. He said some things, none of which really mattered, but it was, you don't have any balls, you're a douchebag. A very 1999 promo, a PG 1999 promo. Said Baywatch was bad. Said people don't dislike Jinder because of how he looks. It's because he's an asshole. Listen, there are some people that are going to go, hell yeah, brother, that's what I like. There are going to be other people that are like, we've seen this the last 5 times he was there. You can feel how you want to feel. Wrestling to me is better when I can write about The Rock because he gets more attention. Before we get to the last line, Denise, what did you think of all this? Jinder, his promo, The Rock, his promo.
All right, so just to highlight some points here. All right, the first thing that I thought was that I've already, noticed this a lot in Triple H's media scrums, and if you listen to Triple H long enough, you can tell he's very professional, right? He's very strictly business, but the dude always throws in some like funny gems where like you can tell he likes to have fun and make jokes and has a good sense of humor, right? Like you catch it here and there. Dude, I died laughing my ass off at this because they had, and this is how I should have known something weird was going to happen because they had Samantha say, I forgot the exact, said something along the lines of, "Oh, it's time for the WWE champion," and I thought that's kind of weird. If it was The Rock, I would just feel like you would just hear the song. So the second she said that, I thought that would be a really weird way to introduce The Rock. So then they did a really good thing. And this, whoever was running the cameras at this point, whoever was calling the shots, did a very good one because they had the shot on the crowd, right? And
And it turns out to be Jinder Mahal. You could hear the audible groans of the people in San Diego. I don't think I have heard groaning like this. Remember the Big Boss Man when he would come out to his music during the Attitude Era?
Show on the holiday tour. CM Punk cut a promo in Madison Square Garden.
There was no Veer, there was no Sangha, it was just Jinder. Comes to the ring, and fans are booing him. He asks if they have the audacity to be,
just laughing at this swerve. So finally, when The Rock comes out, it's this big "oh thank God" moment. But I will say this: like there were a couple things before we get to the last line that I did like. However, this kind of took a little long. I think it went a little longer than it kind of.
About 7 minutes longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah, it felt long. Where I thought, okay, when are we gonna get to the point where he like gets rid of Jinder Mahal and says the reason why he's there? And the best parts though of this were one, that Baywatch was catching strays. Like he buried that movie. I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever bury one of their movies the way that he did. And so that was the funny thing. Of course, him doing the little song where he was singing and he made the balls joke. Everyone's gonna laugh. Haha, that was great. Anytime The Rock sings, I'm on board with that. And yeah, but it really wasn't until that final moment where I thought, holy shit, that's it.
Let's get to it. It is the topic that you guys are chatting about, super chatting about, humper chatting about. We're going to spend some time on this. It'll be one of our longer Raw shows we've done in a while. I'm sure Denise is elated. Brady Thompson says, just book flights to Perth for Elimination Chamber. Chances to see Roman or Cody versus The Rock or Rock at the Elimination Chamber. You might go, well, why the hell would he be in Elimination Chamber? Well, guys, at the end of this promo, Roman said, I'm going out tonight in San Diego. Should I sit at the bar? Or should I sit at the head of the table? Brian says, my second time asking this, will The Rock push WWE open more tickets to Mania? And he asked that again. If The Rock is there, yes, probably. They will adjust an awful lot of things. Now, their set is already in production. They're not like going to scale back the set. But the big question is Roman versus Rock. Josh says next year's Mania. I think that's possible. Adam Casper isn't surprised that the Rock and Ross teams in Pasadena on game day and just have a select report with it. Nick Khan was there hanging out with him as well. Jake Salazar saying what a lot of people are thinking. As a Punk fan, I feel for Cody and his fans. We've been rock blocked before. Rock blocked. It's super lame. Vincent says since The Rock is a factor with Roman now, they can do Cody versus Andrade at Mania and they can redo the table spot. People are getting their jokes off. Brent says Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber, not Mania. Bala says, calling it now, there's no chance on earth The Rock reigns at Chamber. How likely is Cody going back to AEW now? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. What are the odds Roman Rock happens at Elimination Chamber? If I had to guess based on what Rock said, that's where it happens. Cody and Drew are going to wrestle at Mania as a consolation prize, huh? Says Parzad. Zach says Randy beats Roman with Rock's help for the title, setting up Roman versus Rock, Randy versus Cody. the title at Mania. So we're going to start tearing into these. And that's one that I think maybe there's a path for. And I'll sort of explain why, because there's an awful lot here. Caden says, I get Rock versus Roman as a Mania match, but everyone who will be here in the years to come is Cody. So do Rock versus Roman at Chamber. Have Cody win a Chamber match to face Roman. Roman is losing a Mania moment, no SummerSlam. Mr. Andrew jokes, how long do they give Cody versus Drew at Mania night 1? 15, 20? Maybe they have him come out on night 2 and announce the attendance? So, goddamn, there's a lot to this. First off, Elimination Chamber. Dan says, I want to believe that Rock isn't facing Roman for the title at Mania, but The Rock's not coming back from Elimination Chamber. It is annoying where I don't care about it. Roman shouldn't be the champ. Now, there were some rumors Rock could pop up at Elimination Chamber that was in the news in Australia. But as Broadway Joe says, WWE doing the biggest match of the century at 4 a.m. USA time is peak comedy. Gamer is a funny dude. I find it hard to believe they would do that match at 4 a.m. Eastern, Denise, in February.
Sean, when I saw people on Twitter saying that The Rock was going to have this match with Roman at Elimination Chamber, I thought, that's it. The world's officially lost their minds. I'm sorry, but this is just not where I would think this match is a big deal because it's a money-making match. A money-making match. This is marquee, top of the top, highest it gets. This is not a match for Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry. I think that would be a huge slap in the face to put that match on Elimination Chamber. And I like Elimination Chamber. I'm not out here rooting against Elimination Chamber, but let's be real. You do not put The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. You put that baby on WrestleMania. So I was actually a little thrown back by how many people were putting that on social media. And I thought, man, I must have missed something here. I'm sorry. I just didn't see that as something of a possibility.
We're going to discuss some paths. Phil says he can go for Rock versus Roman Cody for the Red Mania, and Cody's still winning the story back up. Okay. So when you look at paths for things to happen, there are ways. I see a lot of people talking about Drew. Okay. Well, if Drew wins the title from Seth, then CM Punk is not main eventing WrestleMania. Because CM Punk versus Seth Rollins without the title isn't a WrestleMania main event. That needs the title to main event the show. It doesn't need it to be on the show, but Seth Rollins versus CM Punk needs it to main event. Maybe they could throw Austin there. If Austin is on the show, Austin main events WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is finishing the story. Might be a little bit like CM Punk. CM Punk's finishing the story isn't winning the main event of WrestleMania. It's being in the main event of WrestleMania. He's never done it. Cody Rhodes' finishing the story is winning the WWE Championship. Never said it was against Roman Reigns. Never said it was in the main event of WrestleMania. Guy never said it was at WrestleMania specifically. Now, I can tell you that one of the times that I asked him that, I get the infamous picture of Pharaoh, which is what he does to me when he doesn't want to answer my questions. And I would say, is that a prerequisite for finishing your story, being at WrestleMania? I didn't get an answer to that. I got a picture of Pharaoh. Would it mean a little bit less for him to finish the story on like a match 2 from the top? Perhaps. Could he do it against Randy Orton and there be a good story? Perhaps. But also there is significantly less intrigue in Cody Rhodes beating Randy Orton for the world title because everybody would know it's going to happen. If Roman Reigns is the champion, people would at least possibly believe they might just pull this bullshit again. Why might they pull that bullshit again, Denise? Well, because you see a lot of people saying that he can pass Hogan, blah, blah, blah. Pass Hogan for what, first off? There ain't no record for him. Bruno's got the record. The Hogan thing is just passing. Okay. If you could do The Rock Roman Reigns. I know a lot of people are like, you gotta do it. But the fact is that there are so many people now, after years of us getting teased about it, that are just like, no, you guys kind of had your chance and you just blew it. And one year you did Rock and you did Rock and Reigns again instead of this shit that would have made a lot more sense. And I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. The Rock versus Roman Reigns, first off, is a WrestleMania main event. Objectively. It does not need to be a world title match. In fact, I think it being a world title match takes away from the intrigue of the match. Because Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and even Sami Zayn have worked their asses off to make the ultimate prize in a Roman Reigns versus Rock match the lay around the neck, the head of the table, the tribal chief. That is the prize. The prize of being the crown jewel of the family that includes the Usos, the Head Shrinkers, the Wild Samoan, Yokozuna, 3-Minute Warning, Maga, Rikishi, anybody, everybody that has made that family. Your thoughts on all of this and the possible paths and what you think happens? I realize I just ran for quite a long time.
No, but there's a lot to kind of get into with this. But I'm going to ask you a question before I continue any further. Sean, what to you is the biggest WrestleMania match? What is the biggest WrestleMania main event that they can do with what we're talking about here? Is it Rocky?
If you want eyes, it's Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Okay, so that is why I think we definitely, first of all, need to have that match happen at WrestleMania because they just had this big merger, man. They're going to want to do whatever it takes to get the most eyeballs and, of course, make the most money. And that is the biggest money-making match. How they're going to do this, I don't know. Because, of course, you have my prediction prior to CM Punk coming into WWE was Rock versus Roman, night 1. Roman versus Cody, night 2. That was the prediction that I had been going with now for a while. However, the monkey wrench in all of this is CM Punk coming into this now. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, well, we need to accomplish a bunch of things at WrestleMania. You need to have Cody finish his story.
We were talking about Rhea and Becky main eventing, and now it's not even in the realm.
No, and I'm sorry, but you know, it's like, okay, so you have a bunch of things you want to accomplish. 1, you want to accomplish seeing Cody finish his story. 2, we need to get Rock versus Roman. And 3, we need to see CM Punk have his main event. And it should be against Seth Rollins. Unless it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, whatever. You're muted, Sean. You muted yourself.
And then if he comes back, everything should. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this makes it complicated now because now you have more things you want to accomplish. So I feel the thing to do is just go with what needs to be done. Go with what needs to be done in order of importance. So order of importance, fudge, kind of depends on the person because you don't have CM Punk come back to WWE and then not have him in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I'm almost thinking we get CM Punk, Seth Rollins in the main event, and Roman. No, I'm thinking night 1. Okay, how about this?
I don't like the idea.
I think I got it.
What the hell? What the hell just happened? Hold on. My bad. Come on now. I don't know why it done that. I hate when it done that. I'm very sorry about that. I had you off.
Person wins and one person loses.
All right.
Cody pinning one of them isn't helpful. And also, a guy like Randy Orton pinning Roman Reigns after all this time also isn't helpful. The person person who beats Roman Reigns needs to be the top guy moving forward.
All right, how about this? Night 1, Rock versus Roman. Okay, main event. Night 2, the main event is Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and you get Roman Cody before that, not main eventing, but you still get to see Cody Rhodes finish his story. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I'm
Possibility
trying
of
here,
Ro-
man.
Listen, here's what somebody says: possibility of Roman pulling double duty, Cody finishing the story night 1, and Rock versus Roman night 2. I don't think you should ever assume that somebody's going to be able to work both nights of WrestleMania. I don't think you can do that. Now, listen, there's a very terrible way they can go about it, where Cody has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Somehow, like maybe he faces Damian Priest at Mania for the briefcase, and then he cashes in after Roman has beaten The Rock
That's stupid.
for the title, and he closes.
Hey, look.
So you get an
You
advertised
get
main
everything.
event. Listen.
Do you have to advertise Cody Roman again, considering that that was the WrestleMania 39 main event?
This is
Maybe
me
not.
trying. This is like a lot of getting your cake and eating it too. God, and I'll tell you. Here's the thing. This is a wonderful problem to have.
Oh yeah, of
Because
course.
we were talking for 10 straight years where they're like part timer, whether it be Brock, Taker, Triple H, Batista, that they had in a main event of WrestleMania. Now, they don't need that. They, quite frankly, CM Punk, they don't need him to main event. If Rhea Becky had main evented night 1, and then Punk, or then Rhodes and Roman main evented night 2, and Punk had never even came back, we'd be fine. We'd be okay. But now, Becky Rhea completely out of the equation. Punk and Rollins now in the equation. Roman Rock now in the equation. This is insane. Brandon says they might be setting up Rock Roman for SummerSlam, not Mania. Possibly. And you know what? If they did that,
Has to be WrestleMania, Sean. Has
I
to.
will say this. It seems interesting to me that they have not announced SummerSlam yet. Because SummerSlam was supposed to be in Cleveland last night. But with Punk showing up, maybe a big thing there. There are ways to do it. I can tell you one thing, based on what I saw out of The Rock today, I want him to have plenty of time to get into ring shape for whenever he faces Roman, unless that match is going to be 10 minutes. And listen, if that match is going to be 10 minutes, maybe Cody cashing in isn't such a big thing.
All right. So here's the other thing. So you said it doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. This is not the part that we need for Cody's story, right?
I mean, ideally it would, because the grandeur of, you know what I mean, like the grandiose aspect of it.
All right, so that's it. We have it settled then. I'm sorry. It's going to be Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, whatever night, and then Seth and CM Punk, main event WrestleMania, whatever night, and then SummerSlam.
The
Roman
Rock
Reigns,
just,
Cody Rhodes.
The
That's
Rock
it.
just is doing shit all the time. Remember when he rolled up on Triple H and was like, yeah, we'll have to do this again. Then he just didn't. How about the time he agreed to do this match with Roman Reigns? They just didn't.
No,
Like, it's
that's it.
happened.
I've made up my mind. I made up my mind already. Roman Cody at SummerSlam. That's it.
Patrick says, I missed the three-way dance style of the match with the elimination. You can include more people in a main event, but you can still present a one-on-one match at the end. Yeah, I do like that. I wish they would do that more. But these days, Patrick, why they do that is to get one person out of it. Listen, somebody said, you said Cody's story doesn't need WrestleMania. Why can't Cody Roman happen at the Rumble? Well, because he's already facing somebody else at the Rumble. They're doing a big match at New Year's Revolution for that. So that's why. SummerSlam in Miami, perhaps. Rock versus Roman. Rock retired. When The Rock loses to Roman, he will retire almost soon. Cody Roman at EC, then Cody Randy at Mania. I feel like if you do, I feel like the telegraphs an awful lot if you push it up like that.
I've already told you my answer. That's it. I'm already set on that. That's my prediction.
Emily says, SRS, I adore you, but as a Priest fan, stop putting Cody in the briefcase into the universe. I would love nothing more than Damian Priest to win the world title. I have been a fan of Damian Priest since he was Punisher Martinez in ROH. I've always loved that guy's work. I was saying back then how good he was. And he's aware of that too. He does some really great interviews and stuff like that. You can go back and find like us talking about his South of Heaven choke slam in like 2018. Like, I can see them using it as a team. Seth Punk night 1, Rock Roman night 2. Why can't Cody just finish the story at WrestleMania 41? Daniel Brown, my friend, we can go square to hell.
What? Oh, well, of course. That's what I'm
Another
saying.
year?
SummerSlam. That's what I'm saying. Let's just do SummerSlam, Dan. I'm cool with that because it does feel like if you do it at WrestleMania again, it almost feels like you're redoing your homework. You know, like you failed, you gotta redo it again. You gotta try to pass this. You know?
Smell says, do you think the Dusty finish happens at Elimination Chamber and they make a story of WWE refusing to give him the rematch until SummerSlam? How? Cody is on Raw right now, guys. So he has to A, win the Royal Rumble, or B, win the Money in the Bank for it to even make sense. Now, I think there are some elements of Nick Aldis screwing with Cody that can be interesting because they have history. Mania looking like the UFC 300 card with all these potential matches. Yeah. By the way, go to BetOnline AG, get all your UFC betting odds. We got Cody Cena and Mania would be a decent replacement. I simply cannot wait much longer for Cody to finish this goddamn story.
You can't wait till August, maybe even end of July. So there. Let's just do it at SummerSlam. That's it. You know what's funny? We're acting like we're the ones booking this show. Like as soon as we come up with something,
It's
we're gonna
hard,
go put it in the
man.
books. We're gonna go put it in the books.
Listen, Will
We already
Washington.
solved this.
Will Washington, if you're watching this and you don't want to deal with bullshit like this in your everyday life, working for a wrestling company, just come back and fight for it. And do this instead. Although I don't know, this might be tougher than what he's got to do these days. In Simmons says the problem with the SummerSlam is The Rock can start a movie Fast 11. It's a huge movie. Don't know when they start filming. To me, they wouldn't do this ahead of.
It's a pedigree on top of the table, which does not break. Back in the ring, Rollins hits a curb stomp and pins Drew McIntyre to retain the World Heavyweight title. At around the 18-minute mark, almost 20 minutes of a very good main event. And then Michael Cole on commentary says, no cash in tonight for Damian Priest, as they show Priest getting back to his feet outside. I'm watching this and I see Seth Rollins in the ring. He looks like he's just been in a war, which he was. He was in a 20-minute war with Drew McIntyre. Cash in now. Why wouldn't he cash in now? And I know the answer. Triple H doesn't want him to, obviously. I mean, there's some dumb shit out there to say. But again, just logically, you're looking at this and you're like, why doesn't he cash in right now? Rollins is down. He's back to his feet. He doesn't have to wait. There's no rule that says the match is over, therefore you can't cash in your money in the bank. That's what people have done for the last 15 fucking years. Almost 20 years, believe it or not. 2005 was the first Money in the Bank ladder match. People have been doing that for 20 years. So it made Priest look like an idiot because he had the champion down. And McIntyre just got stopped. So he was.
That was good.
That was hilarious.
Hall, by singing different words over the national anthem to make fun of Jinder Mahal. Jinder had enough. He attacked Rock, kicked away at him in the corner.
Everything. You didn't beat me, Seth. I defeated myself. I could see the promo. I can hear the promo now on television next week. You didn't beat me. I did that to myself. I made one mistake. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I think they run it back in the Royal Rumble and do the match one more time. Rollins and McIntyre, part 3 at the Royal Rumble. Where Damian Priest factors into this, or he probably doesn't. one of my predictions for 2024 that I did on the prediction show is that Priest will cash in at WrestleMania. I don't think it happens at the Rumble. I think he might make the attempt at WrestleMania. But as far as these two, we're not done with Rollins and McIntyre yet. That's why that spot is going to become very important. That spot will be key in running it back one more time. So we had a very good main event here. We had a better than expected match, better than expected for me. Between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax, we have The Rock on the show, which is always going to be a big deal. Wherever you fall on the whole Rock Roman match, right? Always.
Show in LA, Cody ended the show with a promo saying the next time WWE comes to LA, he will be with.
Now, Rock didn't mention Roman by name. He called him the head of the table, but Wade Barrett certainly said Paul Heyman, call Roman Reigns. Certainly a major fucking hint dropped there by Rock. Everybody's asking what this means for Cody Rhodes and what this means for his journey going into WrestleMania. WrestleMania season, according to a lot of people, is now a little bit more interesting with Dwayne a part of it. I said this before, and I'm going to reiterate it here again tonight during this segment. And if you missed the opening monologue to the show tonight, I'm going to say this in one fell swoop. The Rock is not needed at WrestleMania. I don't care. You could sit there and tell me that Rock and Roman is a WrestleMania match for the ages. Great. So are the other two matches that you've booked. Not yet officially, but that are planned for WrestleMania. Cody's story does not end at SummerSlam. If you wanted to do that, you should have did it at last year's SummerSlam, 23, where it actually would have made sense because instead of doing Cody losing to Roman and then going right into Brock Lesnar, which made no sense at all. We got zero explanation for even why that happened for 4 fucking months. You should have did Rock or Roman and Cody at SummerSlam,
Exactly.
and it would have finished his story. But you didn't do it. You know, Roman and everything he did last year, everything he did coming out of WrestleMania after he beat Cody, he didn't need the World Championship. Every single thing he did not need the World Championship. The tag team match, Roman and Solo versus Jimmy and Jay, where Jay pinned Roman, he didn't need to be World Champion for that. Jay versus Roman, he didn't need to be champion for that. He didn't need to be champion for anything. The LA Knight match with Roman didn't need to happen. The fuck you do LA Knight versus Roman Reigns for? What does it mean? It means nothing. LA Knight should have never been in an opportunity to get a fucking championship match. Every single thing that Roman Reigns has done last year could have happened without the World Championship around his waist. Everything. And they didn't want to do Cody versus Roman at SummerSlam in Detroit, in the Motor City, in a place where Lex Luger took the Lex Express to go beat Yokozuna, the foreigner from Japan, and win the WWF Championship. Could have been a nice little throwback. America's City, right? The hot
People who want just anything. How do you?
Cassidy's title, and
Cody going into this year's WrestleMania, if he doesn't get Roman, who the fuck is he wrestling? Who is he wrestling? Legitimately, who is Cody wrestling at WrestleMania if he doesn't get Roman? Who on Raw? Do we go back and do Cody versus Seth? Is that what you want? Another match between those two? And then what? Cody wins the World Championship? From Seth Rollins? That's not his story. Cody Rhodes' story is not Seth Rollins' championship. It's not. You can throw that shit in the fucking trash and burn it. Stop. That's not Cody's story. Again, ask yourself the question, what does Cody Rhodes do at WrestleMania that doesn't get Roman? Seth is out of the question. If we do get Cody and Seth, then more than likely we get Punk and Austin. Rock, Roman, Punk, Austin at WrestleMania? I guess. If you do Punk and Austin, that certainly has the main event night one of WrestleMania. Punk will still get his main event, but man, oh man, is Rollins and Cody getting the shaft. What do they do, open the show? Yeah, that's a great way to fucking give Cody Rhodes another WrestleMania. Let's have a main event against Roman in 39 and then put him in the opening match on night one of WrestleMania 4. Holy shit, man, I'd have Tony Khan on the fucking phone. Hey, boss, do you need me back? They would have done him dirty worse than anyone in company history. Again, I ask, what do you do with Cody at WrestleMania? There isn't anything. Gunther? No. Roman. That's the plan. I don't give a shit what you guys want. You can sit there and tell me, oh, Rock and Roman are going to sell out WrestleMania. WrestleMania's already sold out.
I just see if maybe Justin had for MSG, nope. But him winning the title in the building, Dusty almost running in, but
Voted the two manias.
Matches that we could be potentially looking at. Punk versus Rollins. Lesnar versus Gunther. Cody versus Roman. Santos versus Rey Mysterio. Jimmy versus Jay. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Bayley versus Io. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. And whatever else. LA Knight versus Logan Paul. Do you really need Roman Reigns and The Rock? Do you really need The Rock at WrestleMania? I know I don't need him there. I'm not saying he can't be a part of the show, but he doesn't need to be in the match. The simple course of action is to not fuck up what you already have planned. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber. Rock and Roman, main event, Perth, Australia, in front of 60,000 people. WWE is so fucking hot right now that they can do no wrong. And WWE has an opportunity to have an international show with Dwayne Johnson headline that is not a WrestleMania, upwards towards 60,000 people. WWE is so hot right now that they can afford to put The Rock on an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania without fucking up plans. Everybody's constructing ideas. Maybe they do Rock in the Royal Rumble. Oh yeah, let's fuck up everybody else's plans. Let's fuck up Gunther's potential plans. Let's fuck up Punk's plans. Let's fuck up Cody's plans because we want Rock to win the Royal Rumble. No. Why would you even think about it? The Royal Rumble is in such a good place right now where I don't know who the fuck is going to win. Throw The Rock in there, goodbye. All that unpredictability goes right out the window. They have been afforded an opportunity to have The Rock main event Elimination Chamber from 60,000 people and continue the road to WrestleMania the way it needs to be constructed. Without harming Punk and Rollins being in the main event of night one of WrestleMania, which is going to be a story in itself, and Cody needs to finish his story at WrestleMania. Imagine Roman beating Rock in front of 60,000 plus to retain the World Heavyweight Championship and keep the title of head of the table. And Cody Rhodes does the impossible and beat.
Mania we had last week.
Go
I know, I'm
swear to
kidding.
hell.
I'm
Well,
And then Roman bypassing Hulk Hogan's record for third longest reign of all time. There are some records.
well, I would rather go put my head in front of a moving vehicle.
Hey, so what did you see in those 12 seconds though?
I'm gonna buy that excuse. That's a lame excuse. I don't give a shit. He's a racist. Fine. He's a bigot. Fine. I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan. I'm not a fan of the human being Hulk Hogan. I think he's a bullshit artist. I think he's a liar. I was never a fan of Hulk Hogan, ever. I was more of a warrior guy. He had his own fucking demons. He said his own shit. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yeah, let's get Roman through WrestleMania and then have him end the reign at SummerSlam. No. That should have ended at SummerSlam 23, if that was the case. Again, I ask, what do you do with Cody at WrestleMania? And no, Randy Orton is not a fucking option. It's not. Randy's on SmackDown. Cody is on Raw. It doesn't work right now. Cody beating Roman, going to SmackDown, then he feuds with Randy Orton. I don't sit here and spew fucking bullshit. I got a whole iPad full of notes, man. While you're sleeping, I'm thinking about what I'm talking about next week. Do you think this shit comes easy? No, I put a lot of work into this shit. Punk wins the Rumble, challenges Rollins. Easy. Cody, how you get him into the chamber? I have no fucking idea. I don't know. Cody wins the chamber. Challenges Roman. Roman beats Rock. He's a god among men. Cody beats Roman, who's a god among men. He beats the one guy that nobody could beat, not even the great Dwayne. Ends the reign. He's now a SmackDown superstar as the World Heavyweight Champion.
It's 1 a.m. right now. Rock versus Jinder at Mania. I did tweet that.
Randy Orton. What do you think your SummerSlam main event's going to be? Cody versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. Why would you give that up? That's a great story right there. Roman, what does he do at SummerSlam without the championship? Roman versus CM Punk. So you're potentially looking at a SummerSlam, if things go the way that I've laid it out, Roman versus Punk, Summer of Punk 24, and then Cody versus Randy. Now, but please continue to tell me why you want Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes potentially at WrestleMania, or Cody to get no WrestleMania match at all, or you want Roman versus Rock. Please tell me, please reiterate to me why you even need The Rock in anything. WWE has all these different pieces in place that are going to carry them through all of this year without the need for Dwayne to be there. I don't understand. There's enough story now for you to get the story across. If Rock is on TV January 1 and the Elimination Chamber doesn't happen until the third week of February, we have 7 weeks, 8 weeks of WWE television in which they could get Roman and Rock built for the Elimination Chamber. It's not going to take a lot. If I have a ticket to the Elimination Chamber, or if you are a person that has a ticket to the Elimination Chamber, consider yourself lucky. Seriously. Richard in the chat says Cody in the chamber as a result of Jey Uso trade. No one was ever swapped for Jey. Yes, they were. Kevin Owens was swapped for Jey Uso. That's another problem in itself. How does Cody get over to SmackDown and in that chamber if he's a Raw superstar? I've heard ideas thrown around. Maybe everybody that's in the chamber, maybe they get an opportunity because they've all been done wrong by the blood.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Figure it out. But Roman and Rock should not and is not needed at WrestleMania 4. Natalya. She teamed with Tegan Knox against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Nobody cared.
I know, right? Matt went 3
Natalya's
minutes.
on TV. I get up and I walk away.
Yeah, Matt with 3 minutes.
Baszler and Zoe Stark win in 6 minutes.
Where are you all on Fridays? Orlando says, what if The Rock turns heel and joins Roman? We still get Cody versus Roman at Mania.
I don't want to see them join up together. This needs to be who's going to be the head of the table. There's a reason why The Rock said, "Oh, should I sit at the head of the table?" By the way, you know where I thought he was going with that? I thought he was going to mention something about pie.
I thought it was going to be something like that too. Sean, have you tried tamale lately? I've never had one. I'd love one.
You should come over. Come over and I'll have my grandma make you some.
Okay. She says those who cheer for Cody preheat the microwave.
You can preheat your microwave?
Priest all night. We can see Finn Balor all night. Bell rang. Everybody got their introductions. It felt like a big deal. It felt like a pay-per-view match. Went about 20 minutes or so. We got a great match here between these two guys, which is not really surprising whatsoever. McIntyre, very early on, tried.
Press. One of the biggest factors is Rock's availability. He has to work around his schedule. If he's available for Elimination Chamber or Survivor Series, not Mania, you do it then. Yeah, and I mean, to me, you don't set it up this early unless it's going to be at Mania, unless you're just lying to people without directly lying. Wouldn't Rock Roman be on a show to make the show feel bigger? It could be, but also you put the biggest matches ever on that as well. I see what you mean, Mel, for sure. Like, if you want to make SummerSlam be like, oh, goddamn, this is a show that I've got to pay attention to every single year. Yeah, because WWE certainly has maximized all their pay-per-views or PLEs that they can.
So then put Roman and Cody. Then people at SummerSlam and people will be like, oh, damn, I got to tune in because I'm pretty sure probably today Cody's finally going to finish his story.
We are 2 hours in, and Margaret Thatcher is sending us super chats. Either it's Roman Dwayne day 1, Cody winner day 2, Phil doesn't make the event, or Phil main events day 1, Rock day 2, Cody doesn't main event. There's an odd man out here. Unless they find a Money in the Bank situation. Because The Rock being the advertised main event of Mania is just fine. He doesn't need to technically close Mania. If Cody slid right in after The Rock and Roman Reigns go 10 minutes and Rock's over there and wins, then you'll have people say, well, Roman just wrestled a match. To be fair, Rock Roman is as predictable as Roman and Cody. Roman versus isn't even predictable.
If they run it back, yes, it is, Sean.
I don't believe that. Believe that.
If they run it back, it has to be. You think they would do that to Cody 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Bro, that would be really messed up. At that point, don't even do it. That would be so messed up.
Like the same guy that said, oh, and if things don't change, me and my friend Mark, we'll stop watching.
Claymore kick on Seth Rollins. I fucking thought that this was it. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to win the title. I thought we were looking at a new world champion, which wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
That would have been a fucking way to go about it, huh?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win too.
Drew McIntyre wins the world title and then maybe defends the title against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. And then maybe we get Punk and Rollins without a championship. But that's not the story. Punk's story is the world title and main eventing WrestleMania. But the option was there. Clearly, they didn't go with it. McIntyre, Claymore kicked Rollins. He's against the ropes, very close to the ropes. McIntyre covered Rollins so deep that Rollins flips his foot over, and his foot is touching the rope in the pinfall. I wasn't even paying attention. I was looking at the referee and his hand waiting to hit 3. Rollins' foot was on the ropes in one of the best near-fall moments that I've seen in recent memory. Absolutely tremendous false finish here, if you want to call it that. Near fall for WWE. Tremendous piece of business. Loved it. McIntyre was fucking pissed. He couldn't believe what the fuck was going on. McIntyre was pissed. He cleared the announce table on the outside. Rollins gets up and he goes to the outside. He fought him off. He gets up on the table. He delivers a pedigree to McIntyre on the table. It did not break. Rolls McIntyre.
I want to say Rock, Roman, Cody. All of these people are now sounding like algebra to me. That's it. This is like A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I'm done.
Luis is sitting here looking at the time on this, probably thinking, damn, I could have made thanks.
Yeah, I know. Let's go for a third hour, bro. Let's go.
I'm so torn. Would love to see Rock versus Roman, but not for the belt. I agree. Pre-match staredown has a potential to compete with Rock Hogan 1, Rock Cena 1. Yep, I completely agree as well. Oh, thank God. Hold on, let me check this. I'll use something good. Last one, I promise. Rock Roman 6, night 1.
You know what? That's it. That's the one.
About to
Let's go.
spark-
Rock
I'm about
versus
to
Roman.
spark up on the air.
You're getting McIntyre Rollins again at the Royal Rumble. Do we get another match between these guys? I could see McIntyre making a fuss about Damian Priest being out there and Dominic being out there and the foot on the bottom rope and all this other shit, making up excuses. But WWE could have avoided all that. All WWE needed to do here was have Sami Zayn involved, bring Sami Zayn back, have him cost Drew McIntyre the match, set up a rematch with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, and call it a day. But all this other shit, McIntyre loses, and that's it. Where does McIntyre go from here? Does McIntyre get another title shot? Does Rollins defend the title against Damian Priest? I mean, I don't know. Rollins right now is a little fuzzy going into the Royal Rumble. But I think a whole lot of headache could have been saved if they put Sami Zayn in that spot and had Sami Zayn come back and cost McIntyre the match. Because McIntyre put out Sami Zayn and attacked him a few weeks ago. I don't know. But I thought tonight was a tremendous show for WWE. A great show. Obviously headlined by this match and The Rock coming back, teasing a mega match with Roman Reigns. I gave you my case. I gave you my point. I'm sticking with it. I think it's going to be at the Chamber. I don't think it'll be a WrestleMania match. I don't think it's needed at WrestleMania. I don't. WrestleMania is sold out. WWE doesn't need The Rock at WrestleMania. They don't. Just like I said, they don't need Austin. Endeavor may want it at WrestleMania. This is the Endeavor era. This is the TKO era. They want it to be the biggest ever. Do we get Rock at WrestleMania? Do we get Austin at WrestleMania? Do we just fuck up everybody's plans? Because TKO wants the mega stars at WrestleMania. That's why I can't stand suits and ties, man. WrestleMania is already going to be a tremendous piece of business. It's already going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. You don't need The Rock when you already have all of this in the bag.
great outfit to prepare for this.
1,000 sold out plus. And then you can go and do what you need to do
Yeah.
at WrestleMania. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah.
Like it? Oh, shit. Thank you guys very much for all of your support here on the podcast. I really do love you guys, man. We had upwards towards 4,000 likes.
Alright. That was a long video, about 2 hours. Alright. I'm gonna end my video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. I will do an AEW Dynamite. I will do SmackDown this Friday. Alright. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. This is Mr. Black Gamer, so I'll see y'all.